What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Arthur Pimentel, and this is my unique perspective on everything. So today, I'm gonna show you guys how I cook as a legally blind person and the gadgets that I use in the kitchen to make my life easier. So I was born with 20/20 vision. At the age of 23, I was diagnosed with meningitis, and I was left legally blind with kidney disease. So pretty soon, I'm gonna do a story time video so you guys can know the full story, know everything I've been through, so you can better understand why I'm making the content that I'm making. So in the beginning of my vision loss, I would disable myself. I had the mentality, well, I'm legally blind so I can't do anything. But as I got older and I started evolving, I wanted to become fully independent. I wanted to do things on my own so I wouldn't have to rely on somebody for the rest of my life. So it's 2020 and I've been legally blind for 6 years now. And within these 6 years, I slowly started cooking and I learned a lot of tips and tricks and gadgets that help me be fully independent in the kitchen. So it's to the point where I can actually make a veggie stir fry, a oatmeal, a salad, a hamburger, spaghetti, and I'm very proud of myself for that. So I want to turn my negatives into positives and I want to help people. That's the whole reason why I created this YouTube channel. So if you're dealing with vision loss and you still want to cook and keep yourself busy, I'm going to show you my tips and tricks and gadgets that I use. So if you know anybody that can benefit from this video, please share it with them. It would mean a lot. If you have sight and you're just curious to see how a legally blind person cooks, I welcome you too. So remember to subscribe to my channel and tap that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content. So let me show you guys how I cook and the gadgets that I use in the kitchen. So let me show you guys my talking microwave. And I love how the technology for the blind is so advanced now. So let me show you guys how my talking microwave works. So it's a white microwave, and on the right hand corner there's a keypad of 12 buttons, and I mainly use the first 4 buttons. So the first button is to activate it, the second button is for seconds, the third button is for minutes, and the fourth button is to start it. So let me show you guys. So I'm going to activate it, the first button.
Time, not set, cook, time, minutes.
I'm going to go to seconds, so I'm going to push the second button.
Set, cook, time, seconds.
And the third button I can raise the seconds, so I'm going to go to 10 seconds.
1, 5, 10 seconds.
And I'm going to push the fourth button to activate it.
Power, level, high, 0 minutes, 10 seconds. Microwave, running.
And see, it's running. So it's pretty cool. It makes life way easier. So there it's done. So I'm just gonna open it and it's good to go. So I try to use the microwave only once a week because I try to avoid the radiation. And when you cook it in the microwave, it loses its nutrients. And if you don't have money to buy a talking microwave, you can also just use bump dots. So you can put a bump dot on the 30 seconds and a bump dot on the start, and that's an easier way to do it as well. So before I had a talking microwave, there was a lot of waiting around for someone to help me turn it on. And there was a time where in the nighttime I would get hungry and everybody was asleep, and I would just push all kinds of buttons trying to make it start, but I couldn't, so I went to sleep frustrated. And then a couple of months later, I got this talking microwave and it made life way easier. So I got this talking microwave from a nonprofit organization called Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired here in Bakersfield. And it's through the Department of Rehab. So I got it for free, and I got other gadgets as well. So check in your state if there's any nonprofit organizations that can help you, and maybe you can get free stuff. So let me show you guys how I cook on the stovetop. I cook a lot of veggies because I have peritoneal dialysis, so I gotta eat healthy. So I purchased these bump dots so it can help me tell where medium, low, and high heat is at. So here's the high, here's the medium, and here's the low. And it makes life way easier. And I can put these on the washer and dryer in the oven. And I can even put it on the 5 key on my computer. So let me show you guys how I turn on my stove. So let me get the button here. I'm gonna flip it all the way around. So when I go way to the bottom, I know the bump dot here is low. And then let me line it up to the medium heat. Let me line it up. There's medium heat. And then I line it up to high heat. So on low, I'll cook my oatmeal. Between low and medium, I'll cook my veggie stir fry. And when I cook my pastas, I'll cook it between medium and high heat. So that's how I turn on my stove, and I'm gonna turn it off. There's no shame in asking for help. If you need somebody to shadow you just to make sure you're doing things right, ask for the help. And when you get the hang of it, you can start cooking on your own and be fully independent. So right now I'm cooking some smart chicken on the stove. So I already seasoned it with a rub that I found on Pinterest, and I marinated it with some lemon juice. So I can never really tell if it's fully cooked or not. So you can either have someone side to tell you if it looks fully cooked, or you can use the next best thing, which is a talking meat thermometer. So the chicken has been cooking for about 15 minutes now. So let me show you how the talking thermometer works. So I'm gonna turn it on the left-hand corner. And then I'm gonna find the piece of chicken. So you put the talking thermometer in the thickest part of the chicken. Then I push the button on the right-hand corner. And on the top, there's a button you push. I'm gonna wait 5 seconds for an accurate reading.
148.2 degrees F.
So it's 148 degrees. So once it gets to 170 degrees, I know my chicken is fully cooked. So let me turn it off here. So I'm gonna link this talking meat thermometer down below in the description box. You can purchase it on Amazon for $15, so it's very inexpensive. So let me show you guys how I cook my pasta with my pasta pot. So my pasta pot is pretty cool because the lid, it locks into place. So let me show you real quick. It locks into place. And on the side of the lid, there's a lot of these little holes where you can drain the water from your cooked pasta. So let me show you guys how it works. So I already turned it off and my pasta noodles are fully cooked. I already tried a spaghetti noodle and I feel like it's ready. So let me drain it over the sink now. So let me put the lid on. Let me lock it into place. Okay, it's on there pretty good. So let me drain it now. So right now I'm gonna flip it upside down and I'm gonna strain the water through the little holes. And right now it's just going through the little holes. I can flip it upside down and the lid does not fall off at all. It's pretty cool. So let me show you guys how I organize my spices. So I purchased this spice rack on Amazon. It's called a Lazy Susan. And I love this Lazy Susan because I can just grab my spices and start cooking. So let me try to describe it for those who can't see and are visually impaired. So the best way I can describe it is it's round. It's like a wheel. And inside this wheel, it has 5 compartments. And each compartment is shaped like a pizza slice. And in each compartment, you can put up to 3 spices. So this spice rack holds up to 15 spices in total. So on the outside of the spice rack, I have these bold numbers. And they're pretty cool because if you're fully blind, you could just find the number and they're pretty bold. So you can just trace it with your fingers and you can know what number it is. And since I have a little bit of vision on my left eye, I can get really close to the numbers and I can see the numbers. So all you do is you organize your spices in a specific order. And I already have all my spices memorized and the numbers. So if I need a 2, I know it's black pepper. If I need a 4, I know it's onion powder. If I need a 5, I know it's garlic powder. I need a 7, I need chipotle. And if it's a 9, it's oregano. So you guys get the gist. So I literally just find the number, grab the spices, and I start cooking. And just another tip for you guys, I know people who label their spices with Braille, and that works as well. And honestly, this would be a good gift for somebody in your family like your mom, your grandma, or a sibling that still wants to cook. This would be perfect because they can experiment with spices and this can be a convenient way for them to find their spices. So I have a funny story for you guys. In the beginning of my vision loss, when nobody was around and I was trying to cook, I literally had to open each container of spice and I would have to smell it just to know which one it was. That's how I would find my spices. But after a while, that took too long. So I found an app called Seeing AI. And then I would start scanning the barcodes. And for a while, that was my life. But then I got tired of that because it would take a long time, or sometimes it wouldn't recognize the spices. So finally, I started putting bump dots on top of the lids. And I had 15 spices, so I could only fit 8 bump dots on the lid. So that wasn't going to work out. And one day I found these bold numbers on Amazon. And it just helped me so much because I can actually see a little bit, so I can actually see the numbers. So this is how I organize my spices with my Lazy Susan. So here's my food chopper, and it saves me a lot of time and it makes life way easier. So you just put your veggies here and you just squeeze it down, and then you can see all your veggies will be right here. So I remember when I was barely losing my vision, it literally took me an hour just to cut up all the veggies with a knife. So when my sister bought me this veggie chopper, it just saved me a lot of time and it helped me become more independent in the kitchen. So if you're dealing with vision loss but you still want to make smoothies, I honestly feel like the NutriBullet is the best thing to start off with. It's easy to clean, you don't have to push any buttons, and when you take the blade off, you can drink straight from the container. Let me show you guys the NutriBullet in action. So I added all my ingredients to make my protein smoothie. So let me show you guys how it works. So I'm gonna put the lid on real quick. Whoopsie. Got on there nice and tight. So I'm gonna start spinning it, and it's usually like 30 seconds. And you just first you push it down and you push it up, and then let me show you guys the final result. Real easy. So this was real easy and it was super fire. So pretty soon I'm gonna do a what I eat in a day on peritoneal dialysis, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make this protein smoothie. And I trip myself out because it's all healthy ingredients, but it literally tastes like a milkshake. So that will be happening really soon. So let me show you guys the rest of my gadgets. So let me show you guys my talking food scale. So I'm currently on peritoneal dialysis. I like to weigh my food, put it in my chronometer app so I can track my macronutrients. So let me turn on my talking food scale.
Hello.
And I use it every single day.
It's ready.
So let me weigh out this bell pepper.
207 grams.
So I can change it to ounces.
7.3 ounces.
So let me tare it. So it goes to 0.
0.0 ounce.
And you can start weighing out more vegetables. So let me turn it off real quick.
Goodbye.
So this is my talking food scale. So these are my measuring spoons. And the only way you can really tell what they are is if, what I do is I just stick my finger in there. So if I can't fit it all the way in there, I know this is a 1/8. My thumb fits perfectly in here, that's a 1/4. And I do it with all the measuring spoons. I just memorize them that way. And that what works for me. So these are my measuring cups. So I just memorize all of them. I know the big one is a 1 cup. The second one is a 1/2 cup. The third one is a 1/3. And the smallest one is a 1/4 cup. So these are very easy to memorize. So I bought this strawberry slicer on Amazon, and I love it because it helps me cut perfect strawberry slices for my oatmeal or cereal. So the slicer cuts the strawberries very fine and they come out very perfect. So let me just cut out a couple more. I'll lay it flat. Boom, it's pretty nice and quick for my oatmeal. And put them out there. Let me do one more. I'll do it standing up. It just makes it nicely. I'm making a mess, but it's all right. So I just put these in my oatmeal or my cereal, and that's how I cut my strawberries. So when I want a snack of apple and peanut butter, I use my apple core. So I'm gonna open it up, the apple core, and I'm gonna find the hole over here in the middle. I'm gonna line it up, and I'll just press it down. So I already cut the apples in perfect slices with the apple core, and it makes a perfect snack with peanut butter. So I'm pretty independent in the kitchen, but the only thing that I do need help on when I cook is knowing if the produce, like my fruits or vegetables, are going bad. So I need somebody sighted to help me with that. So I'm gonna link a lot of these items in the description box so I can help you guys become more independent in the kitchen. So if you guys made it this far, I really do appreciate it, and thanks for watching my content. If you haven't already watched my What I Eat in a Day on peritoneal dialysis, I'm gonna link it down below so you guys can watch it. And shout out to my 42 new subscribers. It really does mean a lot. So let me leave you guys with some words of wisdom. A lot of people think since we're visually impaired or blind, we can't do anything, but that's totally not true. In 2020, there's so many resources for us to use. There's JAWS for the PC, there's VoiceOver for the Mac, so we can use the computer just as good as a sighted person can. There's gadgets that talk to us to make our lives easier. There's cool apps that we can use. There's canes that have Google Maps on it. There's seeing eye dogs. So take advantage of these resources so you guys can be fully independent. Also, there's so many Facebook groups that we can be a part of. Groups like Technologies for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I'm currently in a group called Blind and Visually Impaired Support Group, and it's a community of people who are alike, who help each other and support each other. And it's pretty cool because I learned about Braille, I learned about seeing eye dogs versus canes, people who still work with a visual impairment talk on there. A lot of people ask questions and a lot of people answer. So take advantage of these Facebook groups. So remember to subscribe to my channel and tap that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content and leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. Peace.